What's up, everybody? What's up? Happy motherfucking new year. It's a new year. I don't want to say new year, new me, because that is so cliche. Like, why can't you just be a new you every day? Every morning that you wake up, you say, I'm gonna start fresh. New me, motherfuckers, new me. Anyways, I always digress and ramble and go off track. So I'm really trying to not do that in the podcast. I don't even realize I'm rambling until I've just got myself into it and I'm just in a hole there. Like, I don't know if I said welcome. I don't know if I said I'm your girl Marii and this is Whether You Like It or Not podcast, but I just did. So, hey, if you're new, welcome and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for taking an interest. Thank you for lending me your ears. I'm so sorry about that. There's a little bit of adjustments going on at the moment. Okay, I'm done. And if you've listened to the first episode and you're tuning in again, thanks again. Thanks for coming back, man. That's really dope. The people that, you know, reach out to me and say, hey, like, I love your podcast, or like whatever you've said. I haven't gotten any negative feedback back, thank God. But even if I did, that's totally fine because, bitch, I don't give a fuck. Not kidding. I'm not kidding. Okay, let me just get into this. So I know I'm late, guys. I've been late as of December 4th, 3:01 p.m. right down to that minute, because up until that point I was watching the series. I did not eat, I did not sleep, I did not go to the bathroom, I did not breathe. Okay, the whole time I was there for a good, I don't know if it was like 8 hours or something. Alex was in class and then he came out and he's like, you're still watching this? And as soon as he finished school, he came out, I was like, holy, he was dissing hard, making fun of me because I planted my ass on that couch the whole motherfucking day to watch the Selena series on Netflix. And guess what? I don't give a fuck. And Luch knew that was coming. I gave him a heads up. So he was really assuming the parental role for the majority of that morning and afternoon. So thank you, babe, because you're my awesome honey. I took a break maybe like once to like feed the baby and change a diaper, but I took a while because I was planning on rewatching it again, the series, but I didn't do that because obviously it's super time consuming, and I just didn't want to do it episode by episode. I wanted to watch the whole thing again, like a movie, 8 hours straight. Not too possible, which is fine. I'll get to it one of these days. And I also I wanted to do that because I didn't want to miss anything. If you guys have watched the series, there's going to be things that you caught that I didn't catch and things that I caught onto that maybe you didn't catch, right? We all have different perspectives. So if you guys are willing and want to share and have a conversation around that, I'm going to make a post on my Instagram once this episode is up. I had not a few, but like a great number of people reach out to me and say, hey, so what did you think? Oh my God, did you watch it? And like, whenever I would talk to anybody, it was one of the questions that came up a lot. So I figured, get your ass to it, because you have a few people who might be interested in listening to your perspective. And I'm also interested in listening to what other people have to say. So don't be shy to let me know your perspective and your piece on what you think. So I'm going to do all of my points in a review, or in this, not a critique. I don't know, whatever. We're just talking about the Selena Netflix series, okay? We're just having a conversation. So first thing that I wanted to mention was that I think maybe I was a bit harsh on Christian. She's got some looks. Sometimes she can pull it off, and other times I'm like, oh no, And I feel like maybe I was a bit harsh in the first episode when I was discussing this Netflix series coming out. But I was also overly expectant and just kind of really biased because of my love for Selena and this whole upholding her perfection, which is impossible to mimic. But I thought about it and I'm like, nah, man, she can pull it off and I say this kindly, if only she had a little bit more practice with her dancing. I feel like when I was watching the series, there were certain parts, like when it came to the dancing, she just did not have it. And I mean, whatever, that's fine. You can't have it all, right? But that should have been something that was like heavily, like a focus, a really strong focus in her being able to fulfill, because hello, Selena. You know what I'm saying? So Christian kind of captures her gestures y sus modos, and like, you know, her gracefulness based off of the footages and interviews, because obviously I don't know Selena personally, but I just feel like there's something missing. And I don't even know if what it is, I don't know what it is, but I just know that J-Lo had that and Christian doesn't. And I have a couple of thoughts on that, but I don't want to get into that. I don't want to bore you guys. I'm just going to discuss the points, okay? I guess I just wanted to share what I thought was great first, so I won't be too critical just yet. I'll save that for the end. My second point was I appreciate AB, her brother. I found that there were so many times that AB, the son, so AB the third, had to figure it out. You know, and dad didn't care how he did it. He just had to. And this is something that I've noticed, like, is so common in the Latin communities. I feel like it's an aspect of machismo. And I also think that's important to talk about, you know, not me, not here, not right now, but you guys at home, you know, or no, maybe not. I don't know. But AB the second had a lot of, which is Selena's father. When I say AB the second, I'm talking about her dad. When I say AB the third, I'm talking about AB, her brother. I feel like dad had a lot of expectations and barely allowed his kids to celebrate and rejoice over their milestones and successes. It seems so like, okay, so we got here. Now, next thing, let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving, which I won't deny is very admirable, I think. But they've been working at it for so long at that point that why can't they just take a brief moment to feel their achievements? But then I think about AB dad and what he probably experienced and how many obstacles he had to overcome. And shit has progressed a bit since his time. So I felt, you know, his kids had to know what hard work was and had to just do it to get there because he knew they'd make it. I also love that the siblings were able to talk shit out after a disagreement and a misunderstanding. I'm sure they fought at times, but based in the series, based off what we saw there, they were able to really talk through it and understood each other, you know? I'm a piece of shit. Like, my siblings and I do not come down from things that easily. And I will still fuck them up because I am the oldest and I'll bust ass up until I die. Though they know that. I'm kidding, but not. Anyways, their bond as siblings and as a group, I think, is something really immeasurable and a key as to why they were able to get as far as they did. I also noticed that AB dad would constructively criticize, and I think that's tough love, but it's a good kind of tough love. He didn't belittle them and make them feel bad or anything like that. He just kind of said, hey, this is what it is and we got to work on that. I also appreciated seeing the struggle and sacrifices the family made together and trying to make it in the music scene. O sea, there were the details I had been waiting for all these years. These were the things I wondered, and I am really glad these trials and obstacles were shared with the fans of Selena's music and legacy, because we don't often get to see that unless people do documentaries or autobiographies or whatnot on an artist. So that was something that I was like, yes, like these little bits and pieces are so important into telling the story of the artist, into telling the story of them and their family, because their surroundings, right? Like, we are products of our environment. So it just felt like that was something really important that was missing in the movie. And so for them to have put that in the series, I thought that was really great. I was also kind of worried that Chris was going to be sidelined. If you guys listened to the first episode, I kind of mentioned that. So I'm really glad season 1 ended with that cliffhanger of Chris and Selena having been forced apart by her dad. And, you know, according to what has been shared with the world previously, this is what happened, right? And then, you know, the fact that she didn't seem to stand up to her dad on many things, like when it came to making decisions for the band and for the future as a manager. But when it came to Chris, she openly told her family, like, she loved him and she fought for that love and she stayed true to her and her truth, right? I loved that one part in an episode where they kind of joke around about how her grandparents, they're like in a van or something. They're driving somewhere and they start talking about her grandparents on her father's side, how they got to the US from Mexico. And I kind of see how some of her family's history is shared through her music. Of course, you know, this is also AB brother, his family history as well. And since he was the composer for the band and he would write the songs, I'm sure in season 2 it'll show out like Amor Prohibido is actually based on that story of her grandparents. I don't know if you guys knew that, but it's actually based off of that. So I don't know if in season 2 they're going to talk about that a little bit more or share that, because I don't think Amor Prohibido came out in season 1. yet. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyways, they're on road and talking about how her dad ended up existing. So I love that. That was something else I was waiting for. I was hoping, they'd share a bit about Marcela's family history too, but I don't remember seeing that. So if anybody did, let me know. What I do know, though, about Selena's mom, Marcela, is that her parents, she's part Cherokee, so she's indigenous to the, I guess, to Turtle Island, which is considered North America. I'm not sure about the in-depth details about that, but I know that she is part native on her dad's side. So when I found that out, I was like, wow, dude, like, oh, Selena. What else was there? Christian could have convinced me a little bit more had she gotten the freaking dance moves. All right, I know I'm not the only one who thinks so. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that because I don't want to be dissing people on this shit unless I really have to. Like, it is what it is. Whatever. Lastly, I'm probably missing a few things. That's okay, but I want to say that Selena seemed to have a different treatment than AB and Suzette did. Like, Suzette dated and so did AB, and AB ended up getting this chick pregnant, whatever. They got married, moved in next to one of the houses that her dad bought, blah blah blah. But that didn't seem to be a big issue for AB dad. When it came to Selena dating anyone, though, I know that was like a big no, like no dating anybody within the band. But like, would he have felt the same if Chris was not in the band? Because I mean, she wouldn't even have time to develop a relationship outside of like her work, outside of the band, because she was always busy and on the go and working when she wasn't, rehearsing, or she was recording. If she wasn't recording, she was designing and drawing and creating and putting things together for shows and whatnot. So it's like, I don't know. He wouldn't even let her go to the movies, according to the show, right? Even if she was to go with Suzette. So I don't know, man. I don't want to say it because I admire the Quintanilla family and the way he, AB dad has managed and raised his family as a father. But damn, like, I feel machismo is so real with him, and I don't know, but he will legit do anything to protect his daughter's legacy and honor, which I do not fault him for, because even I would be a motherfucking bitch when it came to my kids. I feel like Selena didn't even have the chance to fully flourish and become all that she already was, so she didn't have the chance to really share that with the rest of the world outside of her family. So I really don't blame him. But anyways, guys, that's all for me for this episode. My bad it took so long to get here. There's a few reasons why, but that don't matter at this point because here we are. I hope you guys enjoyed this, me talking about the series to myself. I guess, I mean, I kind of feel that way. Obviously, there's 1-2 people I know who are listening. So thank you. I appreciate you again from the bottom of my heart. And until next time, everybody, stay tuned for what's to come on the next episode. Bye.